All right, all right. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the conversation with the Tier, where we talk about life and how your mindset affects it all. So, mindset. So, yesterday I was working out and I was feeling tired throughout my workout. And I didn't have the mindset of quitting, but I had the mindset of how tired I was. Like I was very like I couldn't wait for the workout to be over, to be honest. But I knew I had to do what was necessary to get to my next day. And the reason why I'm bringing up this story because I want people to understand that a lot of times, sometimes you cannot live your life based off of a motivation, right? I spoke on before about teaching a man how to fish versus giving a man a fish. And the reason why that's so important because when you go through life, people understand that sometimes you feel motivated to do things. And one thing I learned over time was that you have to do what you say you're going to do, even when that feeling leaves you. And it's because you could be motivated to do something and you might start working out, you might start dieting, you might start pursuing something. But in the process of you trying to pursue these things, you don't have that same feeling that you had perhaps in the beginning or whenever you started something, or like when it's the beginning of the year and it's like a New Year's resolution. And you're like, this is what I'm going to do because you're living your life from a motivational standpoint versus a habit. So I talk about habits also because habits are stronger than your willpower. And you have to develop a habit, and only how you develop habits is by practicing. So when I'm working out, I'm like, man, I'm tired. I can't wait for it to be over. But in my mind, also, another part of me is saying, if you make it through today, then you do the same thing tomorrow. And you make it through tomorrow, do the same thing after that, and keep doing that. How you feel right now, you won't feel that way. You're going to feel more energetic in about 2 weeks. You're going to feel even more like less tired in a month, 2 months, 3 months. Now these things become like a formality because this is what you do. So in my mind, as I'm working out, like, man, I'm tired, but I'm trying to push forward and push through because not only do I want the body results, I want the conditioning. I want to be able to feel like not that I'm winded from doing small amount of exercise or running stairs or something like that. But this same mindset starts to flow over because I'm really big on correlating different parts of your life because I believe how you are in one part of your life is how you end up being in other parts of your life. That's why I believe in being organized and so forth. Because if you're not organized in your mind and your thoughts, a lot of times you won't be organized in the things you do, how you live your life as far as structure, maybe cleanliness and so forth. So you have to think about when you're doing something, do not live from a place of motivation. Motivation is very good. I love to try to motivate people, but I want people to not only get the motivation part of it and to be inspired, but I also want you to understand the the tactics of how you develop yourself when it comes to standards, when it comes to principles, when it comes to habits, come to practice, when it comes to you trying to find out how do I become better and how do I build myself in whatever area that is, and then focus on that because I've learned over time that your motivation has to come from within, not always on the outside. And you have to transition that motivation to this is what's necessary. This is a mandatory thing, and I'm going to do what it takes because opportunity costs. I'm looking to be at a certain place at a certain time in my life, and only how I'm going to get there is by doing what I said I'm going to do, even when I don't feel like it. Because a lot of times you don't feel like going to work, but you still got to go because why? You know that you have to pay these bills. So you still go to work. So if we can start to learn how to transition our minds to be this way in other areas of our life, we won't sit up here and procrastinate in our day to day lives. And I'll be wanting to be so impactful in my day because I start to realize as you start to get older and older is that what do you want? You know, where do you want to be at a life? Where are you at right now in life? And do you feel like that you are going to make that switch? Because you have to start judging yourself. And I say judging, I'm gonna put it in this way. A good tree don't bear bad fruit, and a bad tree don't bear good fruit. So when it comes to the type of fruit that you're bearing, this stuff right here is gonna be all based off of the fact of what you are presenting to the world when it comes to your mindset, your thought process, and how you are transitioning through things. So, based off of what you present, like these are your results in life. This is what people can see. This is what you can see. So that's how you can, when people say you shouldn't judge, this is what I'm talking about when it comes to judging, is that what are you producing? Because this is what's going to show you who you are based off of what you have, what you're presenting. These are your results. So when it comes down to it, it's going to come down to what do you have? Where are you at? What are you doing? What are you accomplishing? Because that's the only way for you to tell, am I something or am I not something? You know, am I growing? Am I developing or am I not? So when you're going through your day, I want you to try to think about what you're doing. When you're working out, I want you to try to ask yourself, what is your thoughts? What is your mindset when it comes to you observing yourself? 'Cause I feel like a lot of times we're not aware of what we're doing. We're just going through the motions a lot of times. Think about your life right now and ask yourself, am I on autopilot? Because a lot of times we are. We're just going through the motions. Don't be the person that be on autopilot. Be intentional with your living. Create habits. Create good habits. Anyway, that's been my time, y'all. It's one love between me and you. Remember that it's progress, not perfection. You rest in the end, not the middle.